Metal Tag 2024. Hello there, I'm Keith, and this is my channel, Attack from Down Under. This is one of my first videos for the new year. I've tried quite a few times to start this off. My microphone that I usually use for videos has died on me, so I've had to improvise and borrow my son's gaming setup. So I feel like I should have a controller or something in my hand while I'm doing this. It's very echoing. I can hear myself, but not a lot else. Anyway, I will persevere with the 20 questions of the Metal Tag this year. I did the one last year. It was one of my first videos, and I think it is a really good way to kick off your metal channel if that's what you're deciding that you want to do, because it just gets a lot of attention and a lot of people watch them. I've been watching a lot of other people's Metal Tag videos as well. So I just want to thank the Heavy Metallurgy channel, which is Marty and Alan, for keeping this going with the questions, the 20 questions for this year. I answered the Rock Scouts questions last year, and I will attempt to wrap my head around some of these mind-bending questions from this year. There's quite a lot of them, it's 20, so I'll get right into it. Number one question is, name a release you're eagerly anticipating for 2024. For me, it would have to be a new Riot album. Riot 5 is the name of the lineup. The fifth reiteration of Riot. An American power metal band. So this is their last album that they put out, and it's called Armor of Light. Came out in 2018. Really like this album. It is a really good power metal album. If that's what you like, just check that out. So I'm looking forward to their new one, which is called Mean Streets, and that's coming out sometime this year. I'm not quite sure when. So the only other thing that I could think of for that question that I'm anticipating is another album from these guys. Don't know if you know Devilskin. This is sort of a local New Zealand alternative metal band. This is their last album called Red that came out in 2020. I went to their concert last year. They were doing some new songs in that, and there has been like footage and stuff of them doing new material. So I'm hoping that there will be another album from Devilskin as well this year. All right. So next question, number 2. Chinese New Year 2024 is the year of the dragon. Show off an album either inspired by or containing dragons on the cover. Right. So the album I picked is a Monomath, Twilight of the Thunder God. So there's a dragon creature there in the foreground, just showing part of him. I don't know if you can see that very clearly. You might be able to see it on the actual CD a bit better. There we go. And he's been kept at bay by this Viking guy there with a massive hammer, Mjolnir, or whatever you call the Thor hammer there. Just as another one, I saw a really cool cover. I got this book here for Christmas, and it's called Codex Metallum. And what it is just a book, and it just shows heavy metal album covers and just talks about the stories behind them. So I did find this picture here of, what's the album called? Twilight Force, Tales of Ancient Prophecies. And that's a proper dragon there with the fire. Yeah, that's a cool one. So just another cool cover there. I'd like to track down that album as well. for that one. Okay. Next question, number 3. What was your favorite album that you acquired in 2023? So this was one that was high up on my want list, my grail list, and it was very, very expensive to try if you could find it. It came out in 1991, and it was Van Halen, FUCK, for Unlawful for Carnal Knowledge. So this has got a lot of back history with me. I listened to this a lot at the time. When I was a lot younger, Van Halen was one of my favorite bands. So I wanted to get this on vinyl for a long time. Never saw it and it never came up. But then this year I bought it. And it's a German release, 1991. But then, of course, the box set came out with this in it. So I've got 2 copies of this. Not worried at all because I do listen to both. There's subtle differences in both. So that was my favorite album that I acquired in 2023. Number 4, was there a title in 2023 that you were satisfied to purchase digitally, not on physical media, and why? I had to think about this one a bit because I do sort of purchase a lot digitally because I have an account with Spotify. So a lot of things I put on my phone. So in a sense, that's what I'm doing. I am purchasing, but I did download this particular album to just listen to whenever I wanted on my phone. And the title was Metal Church Congregation of Annihilation. I'm still waiting to get a good price on that, so I will pick that up, a physical copy of that at some point because I did really enjoy it this year, and it did make my top list of metal releases of the year. So just waiting for a decent price on that, and I will pick that up. Number 5, show an album that musically doesn't match the cover. So this was one that I thought of straight away, and the band's name is Scanner, and they are a German power metal band. The album is Terminal Earth, and it's their second album, and came out in 1989. I don't know what you think, but for me, the artwork is sort of basic cartoony artwork. Might fit in the newspaper, like cartoons for political cartoons and things like that, but doesn't really scream out awesome power metal to me. But that's what it is. It's a really good album. So there are the guys there from Scanner. Good, awesome album. I like a lot of the songs on here. The Law, Touch the Light. This came out on Noise. Just where the vinyl is. Here we go. But yeah, the whole thing just doesn't match up to the music, really. I think. So Scanner are coming out with a new album actually this year, and it's going to be called Cosmic Race. So I suppose that could be another one that I am waiting to hear this year. Okay, next question. Number 6, who is the metal artist that you own the most items by? If I was going to total up everything, it'd have to be Ozzy Osbourne. If I put together all his Black Sabbath albums and plus all his solo stuff on CD and vinyl, it'd have to be Ozzy Osbourne. So there's 20 plus if I include all the CDs and what have you, the Black Sabbath CDs, the Ozzy CDs. There he is again. No More Tears, Ozzy. So yeah, my answer to that is Aussie. There we go. Iron Maiden's not far behind. I've got quite a few T-shirts. I've got about 3 or 4 T-shirts of theirs, and of course all the classic albums and things like that. Number 7, show an album that you blind bought in 2023. So I bought this album. It's called Blitzkrieg. It's from 1985, and I bought it purely on the album cover. You've got this sort of road warrior woman here, and she's got a nunchucker thing with a spike ball on the end of it. And what's not to not like on that? Terrific. She's got a gun, and of course things are falling apart here. She's ready for action, and these gentlemen here as well in the group. Here you go. They're all glammed up. These guys. So this came out in, like I was saying, in 1985, and it was a blind buy because I really just looked at that cover, and then I saw it was Roadrunner. There we go. So if it's on Roadrunner or one of these famous labels, then I will pick it up and just go and buy that artwork. It's a good heavy metal album. Well, it's not like saying it's good. I'd like it to be heavier, is what I was going to try and say, than what it is. It's got chorus melody in it. Pretty much just following a lot of what the pack were doing. I just would have liked it a bit heavier from what it was. There are some good songs on here. The title song, Ready for Action, is pretty good. I like that one, but slightly disappointed, but that was my blind buy for that one. Next question is, show a title that you own on more than one format. Question 8. So this is another New Zealand release, and the album is Bullet Belt, Burn It Up. So I have it on vinyl there, and I also have it on CD for the bonus track. There's one bonus track in there. There we go. A great release this year that I've enjoyed. So yeah, I've got that on CD and I've got that on vinyl. Okay, number 9, Bookworm. Show off a release conceptually inspired by literature. I'm picking for that question Mastodon Leviathan album. There you go. So from the cover, can you pick what the book is that this is referring to? And yeah, it's not Free Willy. It's Moby Dick. So that's a book that came out in the 1800s, I believe, by Herman Melville, called Moby Dick, about the hunt for the rare white whale. And I think it took the captain's leg or something like that, and he was just consumed with vengeance to try and track this massive Leviathan godlike creature down, the white whale. Got some great songs on it. Blood and Thunder is used a lot, and this is probably one of my favourite coloured vinyl things that I've got there. Yeah, just awesome slab of colour there, and just a great album, that one. Right, so number 10, name a band that you would travel a considerable distance to see live in 2024. So I don't really have to think too hard about that because there's very few. I've got tickets to actually go see Iron Maiden this year at the end of the year, around about September in New Zealand. For me, it's like a 3 hour drive to Auckland where the concert is. Normally, I would not do it because I just don't like traveling that much, and it's just a massive hassle because the travel the road network there is an absolute nightmare, and just getting back. But and taking I'm taking the whole family as well, so I'm traveling a considerable distance to see 3 hours away, see Iron Maiden, but you're stuck in traffic, things like that. Another one is my son wants to go see Foo Fighters, so I'm taking him to see the band Foo Fighters this month, one of his top bands. So we're going to see them. So that's it. There are probably lots of bands, but we don't get a lot of really good bands here in New Zealand. I don't know if it's worth their money to come here because it's a long way and there's a lot of costs involved. Maybe on as a stopover to Australia, but we don't seem to see a lot of the big name bands. But yeah, Iron Maiden is one I'm seeing this year, and Foo Fighters this month. Number 11, Soured Grapes show a 2023 release that you enthusiastically purchased but eventually lost interest in. So that for me, that would be this sort of an EP by Ghost, and it's called Phantomine, and they do covers in a ghost-like way of a lot of other bands. So they did Jesus, He Knows Me, which is a Genesis song, Phantom of the Opera from Iron Maiden, and We Don't Need Another Hero. Tina Turner did a version of that. So I loved this when it came out and played it to death, but then really left it alone and haven't really played it that much. I think it's actually got one of the best covers of the year, actually. I really like that cover. Yeah, awesome cover. And I do like listening to Ghost. Here's one of the units there. So yeah, bit of Ghost. Picked that up and then sort of shelved it pretty much. Number 12, The Golden Child. Name an artist you feel can do no wrong. For me, I'm exploring their catalogue. I've listened to a good chunk of them, and that would have to be Overkill. Consistently good, consistently got the hard songs, consistently got good songs on them, most of the albums. I know a lot of people think that I Hear Black is a bit of a stinker in their catalogue, but I actually really like I Hear Black. It's not my favourite, but I do like it. So I'm going through the whole catalogue. I'm well over halfway through the whole catalogue, and I haven't come across a stinker yet. So the Golden Child so far would have to be Overkill with the boys, Bobby and Dee Dee and the rest of them. Okay, next question, number 13. Overstayed welcome. Name a band that you wish would have quit when they were ahead. So the one that immediately springs to mind is Motley Crue. My brother loved them. I did hear a lot in our house growing up from Motley Crue. And whenever he'd take me in his car somewhere, he'd play Motley Crue on rotation the whole time. So I know those early albums really well. But I just wish they'd stopped at this Karabi album, this Motley Crue album there, because now I hear that that people going to their concerts, they're not very good, and Vince Neil needs a lot of help with his vocals and moving around the stage and things like that. I don't want to sort of jump on my soapbox, but I think if you're paying a lot of money to see a band, it's really, Vince, just get yourself in order, mate. Do a bit of running and get your voice in order so you're ready for these concerts. if Blimmin, what's his name, Mick Jagger at 80 can get on stage and dance around and sing just as well, you can do it, mate. Come on. And the boys, I think they're just phoning it in for the cash, but that's just my opinion. You can fight me on that in the comments. So that would have to be band that overstayed its welcome, Motley Crue. Number 14, show a band release that you bought in 2023 as a direct result of watching someone's YouTube channel. So the big one, the obvious one, would have to be this one that was all over a lot of YouTube channels, and rightly so because it's a great release. It's Thy Listless Heart, Pilgrims on the Path of No Return, one of my top albums of the year. I didn't post it in my last video because I just think it's in a category of its own. This is a Simon Bibby solo Doom project. Just really good, sorrowful album. And it just takes you through the whole sort of mourning process of death and could be beyond and things like that. Just the journey into the afterlife type thing. Just really good, well thought out, and great album. Yes, I hope he does more stuff this year as well, because that was a great album to pick up that year. And thank you for the guys that posted that. I know Metal Mickey did, but a lot of other guys did as well. So a release that was a result of watching other stuff on YouTube, which I do watch a lot of, probably too much. So number 15, show us an otherwise good album that ends up suffering from being too long. For me, this is Queensryche album Digital Alliance. It came out last year. Don't get me wrong, I do really like this album, but it's just under an hour, and yeah, my attention span sort of wavers on that. I think it's probably a bit too long. The bonus track, they do a version of Rebel Yell. Billy Idol song, had to think about that. Rebel Yell. Probably could have done without that and just trimmed a lot of probably the fat of it. But a good album from Queensryche, and they really turned a corner when they got Todd La Torre on here, and I do like this album. Right, so next one. Show your favorite band t-shirt. So it's this one here. I don't know if you can see that clearly. So it's from Bullet Belt, and it's Deathgasm. So I know it's cheesy. It's got the demon there with the pentagram and all that, and he's trying to ward off the demon with playing awesome guitar riffs that are holding the demon at bay. But I just like the cheesy aspect of it and the whole thing. Probably one of my favorite t-shirts. I've got quite a few other Maiden ones and things like that. But I want you to help me here a bit. I want you to tell me from this here. This is like a little insert that came in. I like every t-shirt on there. I can't make up my mind. So just in the comments, if you can look at this, study it. I'll leave it up for a while so you can study it a bit. Just tell me what t-shirt you like the best out of there. So there's cool stuff from Celtic Frost, Sabat, Tankard, Running Wild, Creator, Voivod, and Halloween. I think I could just about buy about 3/4 of those there. So that's a cool. They're only $25. I don't know what the postage would have been back then. So this just came in one of the albums I've got. Tankard on the back. But yeah, just have another look. Scan that. Just tell me in the comments which one you would pick. Great t-shirts there, and there's a little tankard thing there. That Dr. Stein Halloween one's a cool one too. Right, next question. Share a band that has been around for at least 24 years that you think is still going strong, creatively relevant. So I had to really think about that. I don't know what you mean by relevant. Do you mean that they're putting out material that people still listen to? Because there's just so many trends and it's very hard to be on the latest trend lately and put out stuff that still sounds like your band. So I'm just in my own head. My answer to that is probably just a band that people still think have got the goods and just putting out stuff that you can listen to and not make your ears bleed type thing. So I'd have to go with Blue Oyster Cult, their latest album. I think it's called The Symbol Remains. I did really like that release when it came out. Of course, Halloween's last album's another good one. So my take on that for a band that's been around for at least 24 years, you think is still going strong, would be, Blue Oyster Cult and Halloween. I mean, they're not getting any younger, these guys, but they're still giving it their all, which is what you want. And when you're in concert, you want to see them just giving it that 100%. Okay, number 18. We're getting to the end. Show your favorite band mascot. So if you're going to discount Eddie for me from Iron Maiden, then my favorite band mascot is this one here from Riot. His name is Tior, and this is their first album. So he's like a baby seal there with human centaur body with an axe. I don't know what's happening there. Maybe his home's on fire or something like that. So he starts off like this on their first album. Then later on in the later lineups, 5, he's on here. So he's got his mojo together. He's got like an axe that can channel lightning and things like that. He's even got a bionic arm if you look closely on this album. This is called Unleash the Fire. And then Teal, there he's got like a whole bunch of followers. And so he's lost the bionic arm. He's got another massive arm there, an axe, and he's got followers there on the album Armor of Light. So that's my favourite band mascot. So like a ditch Eddie because everyone's going to say Eddie. I like to do something different and make different choices that not everyone's doing for this tag. Right, so number 19, a grab bag. Share a random pull from your collection. No peeking. So you're not going to believe this one. So I just entered into Discogs and they just choose like from your whole collection a random album. So they got Attack from Down Under, which is an album I've shown over and over again on my channel, and I even take my channel name from Attack from Down Under. It's like a compilation that came out with a lot of New Zealand metal bands. I really like this album, so it was just a random thing, and of course it came out with this album, one of my favorites. Honestly, I just pressed the button, and that's what came up. So last one, show an album, number 20, show an album from a metal band that others may not consider metal. The one that I thought about, this was actually quite a hard question. I had to think about this quite a lot because what is metal? If you consider it metal, it's metal. As far as I'm concerned. For that one, Alice in Chains, and this is their album Tripod. I consider Alice in Chains metal for the time. Grunge some grunge in there because you couldn't run away from it at that time. But yeah, number 20, an album from metal band that others may not consider metal, Alice in Chains. Right, so thanks guys for sticking through that, and yeah, thanks guys for tuning into my channel once again and subscribing. I picked up some new subscribers, so very happy to see that. It just means I can grow my channel, and more people can maybe be interested in my videos and like what I'm doing. So all the best for all the other entries as well. I will be checking them out, and I hope to find lots of new channels that are doing a good job. So thanks, and that's it.